So Oman also the first and highest producer of fish in the GCC country. We almost produce 80% of fish catch in the region.
80%.
Tejarah Talks.
Hi, I'm Shabib Al-Ma'mari and welcome to Tejarah Talks, Oman's premier business podcast. Today we're joined by Dr. Bashair Riyami from Oman Investment Authority and Zakariya Hasni, CEO, International Seafood Company. Thank you for joining us.
Over the past 10 years, Nortel has worked on some of Oman's most important digital transformation projects, including the InvestEasy portal and the Oman e-Census 2020. We've also been committed to developing local entrepreneurial talent through our Oman Talent Hub. With digital transformation playing a key role in Oman's Vision 2040, we're excited to see what's next for the country and how we can continue to be part of its journey.
Let's kick off the conversation today with a very simple question, yet a very important one. Blue economy, what does it mean to you personally? And why does it matter to Oman? If we can start with you, Dr. Bashair.
Thank you, Shabib. I can refer to blue economy as all type of activities, economic activities related to the ocean resources we have in Oman. We have been practicing this in the 80s, 90s, and before, when we had our trading line to different continents in the world. So yes, it's all the activities related to the ocean resources that will impact our economic growth, and it has the sustainability part. We usually work on sustaining the resources we are having, working towards protecting the environment, and as well ensuring always the society equity. It's very important. People set initiatives, policies, regulations, just to maintain the resources that we are having, that we should always value such resource and build on our economics, on the existence of our oceans.
Amazing. Zakariya.
I think that's well defined, to be honest. There's nothing left for me to define over here. It's just, I would personally, if you're going to ask me, I would... Blue economy, it's like a box of treasure, I would say, where there are many jewelries inside the products. And I think the way we have to do it now, we have to take those products sustainably, and we have to add value into it. Since I'm coming from adding value background, in order to get the products that we want. So this treasure, it's there for us since maybe or even before we came to this earth. And I think one of our responsibility, because this treasure is giving us a lot, as Dr. Bashair mentions, it gives economy, what they call it, it's adding to the economy, it's providing jobs for others. So I think our responsibility to this blue economy is to how to sustain it for the future, for our upcoming generations. So this is how personally I define the blue economy.
Amazing. Thank you. Now we know from a growth point of view, we've seen this sector grow tenfold in the past few years, hitting over 3 billion. And it looks amazing. But are we capitalizing on that, Dr. Bashair, from Oman Investment Authority? We've seen a lot of venture capitalists go into this. But specifically Oman, how can we take advantage, and what are the different opportunities? And are we actively investing in blue economy in Oman?
We have been very active investing in the infrastructure of the sector, and this has been for long now. But the type of investments have been shifting, and this have been sensed lately. We used to build our infrastructures for the existing ecosystem. So most of the activities, if we focus on aquaculture and on fisheries sector, most of the activities is artisanal fishing. More than 95% of our fish catch is coming from fishermen that having small boats, goes fish and come back. So the government built all the infrastructures for such type of activities. We had our small ports, landing sites, markets, fish markets, logistics, built in that way. What I see for Oman is we're heading towards industrial logistics type of infrastructure. That's been, we are building our infrastructures to attract more investments. One of Duqm Port is one of the prime examples for now, have been just attracting more investments, and it's promoting for our blue economy. Another project, for example, is the special economic zones, the Duqm special economic zones. It's basically a logistic industrial hub, and it's an attraction for all the investments can come to Oman. This is the type of investments. On the other side, we have been seeing another directions for new investments have been created for Oman. And if I go back to the fisheries sector, it's aquaculture. 5 years ago, we would not speak about aquaculture. We had zero output of aquaculture as a contribution to the catch of Oman. Now we only have 0.5%. Within 10 years, if we got the chance to sit together, then we can say it's maybe 5-10%.
Amazing.
By itself, it's a sustainability of the fishing sector. We're just reducing the pressure on fishing. So I believe logistics infrastructure could be the way forward for Oman, and projects like capitalizing on the existence of such resource, high-value research, renewable energy is a direction, for example. Mining is a direction. Tourism is a direction. For fisheries, that's because it's my sector. Then it's aquaculture, commercial fishing, and new streams have been added to Oman in terms of investments.
Zakariya, International Seafood Company. We've heard about it, but could you tell us more about this amazing company? A lot of people know that it's the biggest in the Middle East of its kind. Not a lot of people know the capacity of production that you guys have. Would love to give you the opportunity here to talk more about this amazing establishment.
Yeah.
And then what are the different opportunities that you guys are working on the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, International Seafood Company, brand name is CIMAC. Hopefully, inshallah, you will see it coming on the shelf this month.
Can't wait.
It's a fish cannery company. It's a state of art when it comes to that. It's adding value to the fisheries resources. It's the largest project when it comes to the fish cannery in Middle East. Our capacity is 100 million cans.
100 million.
Yeah, cans per year. That's talking about sardine and tuna. What makes this facility special? Because first of all, we take sustainability as something important. It's in our vision, and this is normal because we are part of FDO Group, Fisheries Development Oman.
Yeah.
Where in Fisheries Development Oman, we do our business in the fisheries sector with taking sustainability and innovation as two important pillars when it comes to the business. So, for example, in Fisheries Development Oman, we've got companies specializing in fish farming, companies specializing in shrimp farming, 2,200 pounds, each pound 500,000 metric tons. We've got companies specializing in sourcing or catching fish in a sustainable way with more advanced technology. And so there are many projects that we have. Now, as CIMAC, yes, we are doing the fish canning, but we are doing it in a sustainable way. So that when we catch the fish from the sea, when you start the production, let's say the production line, we take the white meat out, and the leftover of the fish, the offal, the heads, the tails, we take them to the fish meal facility and produce fish meal and fish oil. So it's like most likely 100% utilize.
Zero waste.
Zero waste.
Amazing.
Even the water that you use it for the thawing, for cleaning the fish, we purify that water and reuse it again for irrigation and cooling the our equipment, because we got one of the largest ATP facility in our factory. We've also assigned a contract, or nearly to assign a contract, to one of the local companies in Oman to fix the solar power on top of the factory. So 15 to 20% of the energy that's needed for the factory will be generated from the solar power. And also the suppliers that we are dealing with, they should have ethical sourcing of fish certificates, Dolphin Safe, Friend of Sea, HACCP, ISO, etc. And we are also aiming to get certificates that will help us speak internationally to the international market. SA 8000, Social Accountability, HACCP, ISO, IFC. So there are many certificate IFS that so there are many certificate that we would like. We will have them, and we've got a roadmap for it until 2025.
And this is not something that you take lightly. These are must-haves.
No, well, you can't start the business without some of those certificates. But since we are having a state-of-art factory, since we are there already, we need to have those in order to get us to the international markets. So if you are talking about 100 million cans, of course, it's more than enough for Omani market. But we are aiming to expand within GCC, North Africa. And by the way, 100 million cans, you are only covering up 5% of the demand. Just to give you an idea.
Wow.
5% of the demand for MENA area, so North Africa and Middle East. So that's, there's a huge gap because most of the tuna cans, it comes from the Asia. So we are here to fill that gap, but doing it again with sustainable way.
Phenomenal. Doctora, we've heard about sustainability many times from Zakariya, but then now from Oman Investment Authority. Is that something serious that you guys take? What are the different initiatives? How can we make sure that this is not taken lightly and there is actual implementation of sustainability?
I think sustainability is driven by its demand as well. So as Zakariya was mentioning, it's part of the business. It's part of the investment talk. Most of the investments you want to attract to the country, one of the first questions they will ask is, what's sustainability status that you're having? Because for them as well to enter other markets, it's a must. So it's part of any investment talk. There's a huge encouragement from OIA to all holding companies for all sectors that each sector have its own set of sustainability practices. So implementing the best practices in sustainability is a must to drive the business and to drive investments. It's also cascading from 2040 values, honestly, and all of us having it as a value in our agenda to be implemented. So there is an enforcement that it is part of the investment. It's a must. Getting certification is one of the ways, but it's an attraction point for all of us. The other point is we need to sustain our resources, although otherwise our business will not continue. So it's ensuring that we keep and maintain what we have for the coming generations and to sustain the business and the investments we're having at this time.
If I can have both opinions here. On the export front, what are the different strategies being used to enhance Oman fisheries export? You stand at the private sector and then you stand at the helm of the organization that takes care of all of the investment on behalf of the government. Are you both satisfied of what we have? How can we enhance it?
Maybe I'll start with this, Zakariya. I'll tell you some statistics on what we are having. So of total of our production, more than 30% is exported. We're a country of a self-sufficiency reaching 150%. That's mean me and you, all of us, having access easily to fish. And it's part of our food security, part of our diet. Globally, the standard is 20 kg per person per capita. That means per year a person can eat 20 kg, and this is a luxury amount of fish. In the GCC, some of the countries barely reaching 10 kg per person. For us as Omani, it's 39 kg per person per year. People set strategies for their population's nutrition strategies within the GCC country to increase their intake of fish. Where we have excess, we can trade, we can get more value out of it. And this is what the Zakariya is doing, taking the excess of the fish and turn it to more value add. The only thing that our export value is still not to the standard that we would like to achieve. Not the standard, is the value that we wanted really to achieve. So if we talk about 30%, it's more mainly, for example, sardine that we're exporting, and the amount of sardine of the 30% is 44% with a value of 33 million Omani riyals. If Zakariya did what he's doing, that can increase like 20% of that value. So if we take a small percentage of that, turn it to a can and send it for export, then we are increasing the value. One of the main issues with our low value for now is also the quality of fish that we're exporting. So government initiatives, everyone is looking forward to work together, honestly, and government is one of the key player in this sector. يعني OIA investment, we are the investment. Food Fisheries Oman FDO is the investment arm to implement the government investments. But to export and enhance the value of our exports is also the private sector, the fishermen enhancing the quality. We need more initiatives to improve our quality, to target more market, tailoring our product to the market. So like 2 months ago, we were in Barcelona. And I usually love to go to exhibitions for a reason, to have a readings over the world, what type of things are shifting, what's the demand are required. So seafood exhibitions in Spain, it was one of the largest. It's a yearly event. You go and see the difference between countries, between continents. So Asian is demanding for different things than European market, than US market. The requirements is different as well. Some of them will be restricted on sustainability certificates, so people will not eat something they don't know where it was catched from, who was catching it. So they go back even to the source of fish until it's on their table. Others, no, they want more processed fish, canned, for example, flavored, packed in a certain way. So dynamics are shifting. Demand is always there. We need just to understand the market and enhance our export value. And this is collectively we're all working together on this, honestly.
Would love to hear your take also.
Just before answering your question, mentioning about the exhibitions, I was attending many exhibitions for the seafood and food in general. In one of those exhibitions I was attending in the GCC area, I remember seeing one company which is their booth was next to us, and the gentleman over there was talking to us, and I remember he was telling me, like, you see all these products we have here, it's 95% of them from Oman, except salmon and that product and this one. So and it has made not in Oman because it was processed in other countries.
Yes.
So I was just looking at it, surprising, why we cannot just do it. It's not rocket science at the end of the day. But attending the exporting strategy, if you're going to talk about it, attending those exhibitions gave me an idea as well that there are some companies in private sector, like the Spain Global Seafood Exhibition that we've attended. There were 5-6 companies from Oman attending that exhibition. So there is awareness with the private sector about the value of this this business or this sector.
We're talking about the international awareness about the sector in Oman.
Yeah, I'm talking about the private sector in Oman. They are awareness about the blue economy, and they are investing in it, and that's why I can see that there are companies growing up in this section or in this economy. And for us, we engage the international market by having a pre-market engagement. So we participate in those exhibitions prior our introduction to the market, so the people, most of them, are aware of the international seafood company. I would say the big businesses around the world. We participate in Thailand, we participate in GCC, we participate in Europe. As a matter of fact, yesterday I was in a meeting with one of the US clients in USA. So we are spreading the word as an international seafood company, and there's a good feedback we are getting so far. So hopefully, inshallah, once we're going to start distributing, because we're already start production, distributing the product this month, inshallah, the upcoming months we will be start exporting it to the world.
I know, I can't wait. I would love to see that.
How much you will be having to our own markets out of your production?
Well, it depends so far on the demand, but we are aiming to have Oman, as from our readings, it takes around 400 containers of tuna each year, and we are aiming to get around 150 to start with, but later on we can increase, of course, our capacity.
Fantastic. Let's change gear. And not a lot of people in Oman even know that the second largest natural resource in Oman is fish. So blue economy matters even for us from a local perspective. What does that mean from an in-country value? Why does that matter. Are we utilizing this phenomenal opportunity for us? I'd like to hear from the OIA representative, if you don't mind, Dr. Bashair, and then I'd love also to take your take from practitioner perspective. تفضلي.
So Oman also the first and highest producer of fish in the GCC country. We almost produce 80% of fish catch in the region.
80%.
80, almost 80, 77 more than that. 80% of the fish is coming from Oman. And our main market, one of the major markets is the GCC as well. So it is one of the treasure we're having. We're the second, as a resource, it's the second in the country as well. In terms of ICV, OIA had a very perspective into the ICV, where they have initiated a department in 2022, ICV department with a full team, dedicated team, just to work around ICV. And we have seen indicators, KPIs have been reaching. 2 days ago, OIA announced for the annual report, and we can see the achievement on ICV itself. So it's ICV, SMEs, research and development. They have set all the guidelines, regulations, governance related to the ICV part for all the companies under OIA for the national investments, which is over 160 companies. I'm proud to say that we increased from 11% into our company spent into SMEs, for example, supply chain, up to 17%.
17.
A lot have been spent from the companies on SMEs to assure that we have the ICV content around the companies, encouraging SME, involving them more into the companies. So there is a lot of work, but it's worth as well. 2 weeks ago, FDO was announced to be the winner of the ICV contribution among all OIA companies. So fisheries sector is an attractive sector for ICV. It's a community where you need to close in all means closely with the others, with the small SMEs, with the suppliers, with the fishermen to have such content and to bloom and promote for the business.
Amazing.
Well, to answer that question, Shabib, I will just give a quick example.
Please.
So you've got, we catch a fish, we get a fish from unknown supplier, freeze it, and export it. End of story. Now the other example, how we do it in ISFC, we get the fish from, whether it's from artisanal fishermen, so like what I did and my team, going to the fisheries port in Duqm at night, I remember with my production team and QA team, because my concern also was the quality of the fish. So we went over there, we witnessed to see the boats coming, and they were Omanis on board those boats, and they've gathered the fish to one person who take all those fish. Then he put the price for selling it. The fish was very good, quality grade A, I would say. That's yellowfin tuna. Or whether we get it from fishing vessel belongs to Omani companies like Al-Wusta, our sister company, for example. Yes, we do have connection with international exporters, because at the end of the day, it's your supply chain. You want to secure it. You don't want to throw your eggs in one basket. So this is how we source it. And all of those companies that we are dealing with, they've got the fishing vessels. They've got also all the ethical certificate for sourcing the fish. And so these artisanal fishermen that we are taking the fish from them, we are benefiting them. So in country value that we are adding to that place.
So you're actually buying from them?
Yeah.
For your own factory?
Yes, and a good price. Plus, it's less production, less operation costs for them, because our factory is near the Fisheries Duqm port, like 3-5 kilometers away. So the cost of transportation for them, before they used to send the fish all the way somewhere 200 kilometers away. That's higher cost, transportation cost for them, more operation cost. Now it is less because they are dealing with us. We are even allocated our team to help some of these artisanal fishermen to open up for them CR, and business account in the banks, to help them not just to deal with the CMAC in the future, also to export their fish. We are going to establish communication regarding MSE certificates that most of the artisanal fishermen in other countries, they've got it. So that certificate proves that this fish has been sourced in more ethical, sustainable way, and the price can raise up. Now, after we catch the fish, we put it onto trucks belongs to SMEs. So that's another tick we have in the ICV. That trucks with the real monitoring time for the temperature drive all the way to Simak, where there is Omanis working in Simak. And by the way, we are recruiting talented people, and we have a succession plan for them, because the fish cannery is totally a new industry, not just in Oman and Middle East. And
I think you have well over 1,000 people working for you, if I'm not mistaken.
We are having a maximum as 600 when we're gonna reach. And for the time being, we are having expats with experience over 25 years from different countries around the globe, and we are having like succession plan for Omanis to take over. A matter of fact, as we are talking now, the second senior person in the factory is on annual leave, and who's taking charge is Omani person in the factory. I was calling me now, by the way, a moment ago. So he's there. So we're trying to having the Omanis to come into the market and into the business. Now, as ISFC, we have Omanis. All the ingredients that we are buying for this production, oil, sunflowers, olive oil, it's all from Omani companies. The packaging is from Omani companies as well. The marketing consultants, it's Omani company as well. The distributors, it's Omani company as well. So if you can look at our supply chain, an international seafood company, we nearly ticked all the boxes for ICVs. So compared to the first scenario I told you with, catch the fish, freeze it, export it. There's barely one box in ICV comparing to ours.
Amazing success story, and more to come, inshallah. The word trend comes to mind, and usually when you say trend, people think technology. Not a lot of people know that the blue economy has also a lot of trends. You've mentioned at the beginning that you've been to a few trade shows. We're genuinely curious. What are the latest trends? Seafood, aquaculture, blue economy, if you please enlighten us.
For the trends, there's two aspects. If you're speaking about trading, then the trend is always to tailor what your market needs. Demand is always there. You have no issues to sell any fish in Oman or any other country. The only thing we always need to understand what's the other market needs, and the same fish can go there canned, and the same fish can go there fresh. The same can go there frozen in bulk or small portions. It depends on the market that you're targeting. So this is the main trend, to tailor whatever you need to target and understand, of course, the requirement as we mentioned before. But there is a market trends, and I'm a scientist. My background is in research and science. I love science. So I believe in how this research and the output can always impact our decisions, even in investments. So we do have at OI, in Oman Investment Authority, we have a very strong research team that will supply us daily reports, trends, markets that will help us a lot on our work. I'll summarize what we have been receiving lately from their side. So there's few trends are coming in fisheries sector market as a whole market. First, I'll say it's value add, but I'll say it's more of a customization of the fish delivered to your customers. So people would like to go for value add, easy to access. I don't want to buy a whole fish and cut it at home anymore. So it should be presented for me in an easy way. I take it, I put it in the oven and cook it quickly. Also, traceability and transparency is very important with the coming generation. It seems to be a must for now. They want to make sure, the generation want to make sure that they have a genuine ethical type of resource of their food they're eating. So we need to customize whatever we are delivering now to be suiting them. The second trend is the supply chain. Any investments, development of the supply chains, logistics, cold chain, just to maintain the quality. The third is, and which is very beautiful, and that can tackle on investment on VCs and new innovative type products. So they will say that sustainable financing of different projects in the supply chain. That's mean that we look into the interaction, the importance of the supply chain in terms of sustainability. So we do finance small SMEs that will give us a solution, mitigate the risk on environmental and social impact through the value chain. It could be with the fishermen, it could be traceability, it could be technology, packaging, whatever is there in the fisheries, in the value chain of the fisheries sector. Besides, we need the research and the impact of R&D into such projects. So grants, funds should be towards sustainable type of projects as well, and research. One of the as well on the trends is using technology to enhance the operation and efficiency of productions. And we have seen a very beautiful, successful story between one of FDO projects in aquaculture. It's a blue water project, investment in aquaculturing finfish, where they have some challenges and solution was required. We have iLab Marine. It's a small company, startup, SME, that have been also funded before as innovative type of projects. Now the collaboration is strong. iLab Marine is providing the technology for the project to identify the issue and giving a solution. And this is making a big difference, a huge difference in monitoring the project and improving it.
Amazing.
So
all
those
of this
are the
happen.
trends, and we have been seeing it now.
Good. Zakariya, on the other side, great talk here. Are you doing this? There's innovation there to meet the latest trends, demands of the market.
Well, yeah. I mentioned before, like ISFC is a state-of-the-art company when it comes to the adding value. We've implemented some new technologies within the company, like a track and trace system that we have in our facility. Track and trace system will enable us to track, if God forbid, in any products that came to the market from our side, and we found out later that there's a problem with it. Of course, we conduct our due diligence, we conduct our QA measurements before sending our products, but things happen at the end of the day. So the mitigation, how to deal with those situations, we can track that code through the blockchain system within the supply chain to know where that actually the raw material came from, which supplier, where it has been caught. We've got that information, so we can at least inform the supplier if we've got any problem with it. Track and trace system also, it helps to increase our efficiency, because as you are aware, fish canning is labor-intensive business. So you have many people cleaning the fish. The more they take off the white meat, the less profit that you're gonna get. Some of them, when I was back in Thailand 3 weeks ago, we had a presentation, and I remember one presenter, he said that they found out after study, if you lose 1 gram, it will equal more or less like 100,000 in 1,000 tons. So it's a lot of money.
A lot of money. Fair.
So with the track and trace system, it can tell you who is among those 100 or 150 cleaners or 200 cleaners, which of those cleaners taking more of your yields, so like making you losing the profit. So you can stop him, educate him, train him to be more efficient in doing the work. So this is one of the technologies that we have, and of course it won't be the last, because we are keep going to these exhibitions, exploring the new trends that happens in the market. We understand now that people are looking to have a fresh fish as well for a longer period of time. So by injecting gas or injecting brine into the fish, instead of having like for 3-4 days, you might have it for 9 days as a fresh fish. So all of these, the new technology in vacuuming the fish, all of these technologies that we are aware of it, will sometime will be introduced, inshallah, in CIMAC in the future.
Amazing. It seems that there is a lot of opportunity for talent also. Are you guys attracting the right kind of talent? Do we have the right kind of talent in the market? What are the different opportunities there, both of you, anyone?
We need to build the capabilities and the talents and skills that's required for such industry, definitely. And I think Zakariya can also confirm this. We just started a new era. We are starting the industry in terms of value-add aquaculture. The know-how was not there. So we rely now on importing the know-how, bringing people with skills, but we are preparing the coming generations to lead such industry. with more talents, with more skills and capability. Also linking it to our institutes, educational institutes, universities, so they can prepare the coming graduates ready for such different skills required in the market.
Yeah, as Dr. Bashair mentioned, there's a challenge. It's a new industry. We are lacking of experience. Maybe locally, I would say with locals. However, with the expats that we are bringing them from around the global, to be honest, from people who are working in US market, and European market, and Asian market, in this facility, and sharing their knowledge and experience with Omanis, and through our succession plans, aligning with FDO's vision as well, we will be able to have or retain the new talented people with the skills and knowledge required for us to be successful within the field. So that's one of our aims to have it.
I'd like to close off today with giving you the opportunity to talk about the success story that you're proud of. Please.
The sector can have a lot of successful stories from everyone, from the government perspective, from people, from leaders, from private sectors, from investment perspective as well. But one of the joy I had is before I joined Oman Investment Authority, I used to work in an industrial innovation center, and that gave me the chance to learn as well. It was a strong learning curve for me in the fisheries industry. I worked closely with people with ideas. We trained them, we gave them the technical support they needed, but the way they were innovating on their ideas, it was amazing. And you can see the success, how they were able to achieve, how resilient they were. With limited resources we have, we really need to put more funds into those brains and people. If I'm going to speak about innovation, then it was a long journey. One of the best stories I can always reflect on is the Coastal Ladies project. It's as simple as ladies have been gathering, creating this value add in more of efficient, standard way to be delivered to the market. We do have our traditional food. This is so simple, yani. You think, what's the innovation of it? Innovation is to close anything to produce product. Anything can be commercialized. We used to have it in a very traditional way. Safety was not there, quality was not there. But we have seen those ladies, graduates, scientists, innovating on the products. They just needed an access to the know-how and the fund, and they will be in the market. They have worked so hard to produce a lot of amazing products. I think it's one of the announced type of projects that Oman should be always proud of it. It's part of the community, is the downstream. It's working closely with the fishermen culture as well, having such gathering. Yani, fishermen will catch the fish, they can process it as well, and they can give it to the surrounding communities. Those things are very innovative, by the way, and I am always proud of it. I can see the new emerging type of products, but know-how is also very important. So we should always maintain our innovation, research, and developments to keep continuing the business. We can't grow our economy without startup and SMEs. They are our vertebrates to our economics. Big projects invest in one type of products, for example, but the diversity to our eyes, what we see in the market, it's always come from an innovative people. Cross-match those projects with big projects like what Zakariya is leading now. It's very important as well. It's called open innovation. So we give porous space for exchange of knowledge, information. It's lowered the cost on both parties, by the way. So we have seen a lot of initiatives as well from, for example, part of the company's CSR was to fund such projects, and people are another example is people are initiating big projects, but considering because of the location, it was MDO mining project. I was reading through the report and it catched my eyes where they had, I don't know if this is very relative, but we should also focus on it. When you start a big project, you need to consider the surrounding and the community. So with the big port of exporting minerals, they also established a small port for fishing. And this is supporting the community. What a type of activities in that port should also be focused on. So it's an effort from all of us really to support such sector.
I think that's the true essence of sustainability. Yeah. It's reaching and engaging with the community.
Yes. One of the successful stories or some of the successful stories that I'm thinking of, and I'm quite proud of as well. Yeah, in FDO as a group, we always focus on helping the other businesses to grow up, And as Dr. Bashair mentioned before that, we won the last ICV, prize or award among the government sector, I would say the government company sector, is that we try to find a solution to interact with the local companies. So, for example, in our case, within our supply chain, we found out one of the challenges we face is to how source the tuna cans, the cans itself, empty cans, because we don't have it in Oman. So we float a tender requesting SMEs to come, participate within the tender, and they will have off-take agreement with us for 5 years. So we open up a gap for another company to come in and blend into this industry. And not just blue economy we're talking about. The cans can be for any kind of food industry. So this is something that I'm proud of. And that can plant factory will be next to us, next door. So that even that will benefit us because there will be zero transportation cost. Just a matter of whenever we require a can, they will just throw it across the wall. And so yeah, and one of the things also I'm proud of in ISFC that when you walk into our factory, you will find that most of the people that working, the Omanis, are young people. So which is something encouraging to have them, full of energy to take this company ahead. And we are looking forward for that to build up this, hopefully, inshallah, well-known brand Simak in the future with the young hands, Omani hands. So that's one of the things that makes me, to be honest, kind of proud to be within the industry.
Shukran. Thank you both. This has been an amazing session. Allah yawafaqkum.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Pleasure.
That wraps up another episode of Tejarah Talks. Please don't forget to follow us on your favorite podcast platform and join us again next time. Until then, stay curious.
Tejarah Talks.